I'm going to see if I can help Erin get in here.
It says she joined.
I see her, Deb. She's down below, the next follower. Do you see her?
Oh, she must have come in as I went out to hunt her.
She's down there.
There she is.
There she is.
Hi, Erin.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I'm glad you guys could come. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that told me that they were for sure coming if they need help getting in, but I'm trying to.
What did Andy and Bridget say? I don't know.
They are on their way to a wedding.
So no. That's right. Okay.
Seems to be a big day for weddings. That's where Afton is too.
Yep, you're right.
We're going to have to get Afton up here one of these days because she's the only one up there that hasn't been. She's the only one that's not up there so far. That's been, all the other ladies have been here. It'll be great to get her too.
Indeed.
Well, it is 6:01, and it is time to start. So tonight we are just going to kind of talk about the day, and I've pulled all of the keepers at least and the staff members at least that I see. If there's somebody missing, somebody help me. If there's somebody that I've not pulled up that I need to. But I thought it would just be fun to kind of see how everybody that participated felt like it went, and what their maybe favorite time of the day was. And because I know that Brittany and Lauren were there, and Erin were at everything all day long. So, and then get questions or comments from those who are joining us up on stage. So, Brittany, when I pull to refresh, you are the first person I see next to me. What about you and Mark? What was your favorite part of the day? What did you enjoy?
I loved how amazingly smooth everything went. I loved it well through everything we handed out. Erin was just on it. She had the cats exactly where they needed to be. Lauren was right there helping me just explain on all 4 of the social channels, like just the communication. The 3 of us, awesome. I loved Deb being there. Like, it's really nice to be today. See, it was probably my favorite thing. And I did want to just quickly thank Deb very, very much for supplying breakfast and to keep us all going today. And then lastly, I loved that Mark and I actually spent an entire day together. Big Cat. We are always there together on Thursdays, but we rarely see each other. And so having him there as my photographer and my second hand was definitely one of my favorite things. So hopefully everybody enjoyed what we were able to do. What was your favorite, Mark?
My favorite was definitely spending time with my wife. I never get that out there, so it was enjoyable. For me, seeing a lot of the Saturday keepers, because I was a Saturday keeper for several years and then turned into a Thursday keeper due to my job. So it was good seeing old friends. And then, of course, my cat moment was probably seeing Duchess just destroy her enrichment. And a lot of the keepers got to see that, so I really enjoyed that.
I agree with you. I think that just destroying that enrichment was pretty fun. It was. She went right after that. I think whoever put the obsession and the cinnamon on there, I think that was the perfect combination for her. So well done, whoever did that.
That was Bonnie, and yeah, she nailed it.
Lauren, what about you? What was your favorite part of the day?
Honestly, I think just seeing weeks of prep and work just come together. Like Brittany said, I don't think we could have planned for it to be any more seamless than it was. Everybody pulled their weight and did what they needed to do and made it a great success. We hit our goal for the conservation projects before the end of the day, which was awesome to see. And just to see everybody's support and how everybody enjoyed everything. The enrichment for sure was a huge hit. And honestly, I was blown away by the creativity of the enrichment team. I mean, the pumpkins and the enrichment that we asked for, we didn't give them a lot of notice. It was kind of a, hey, we need this and you have 3 weeks to do it. And so just seeing how all that turned out as well was amazing. So again, I want to thank you, Deb. I don't think you got enough credit for how much you did today. We really couldn't have done it without you. And we all worked as a great team, and I think it was an overall great success.
I agree. It was a lot of teamwork today by everyone, but man, we pulled it off and it went well. Carol, you're right there next to Lauren. I know you were in and out, but did you have a favorite part?
Well, my favorite part was that you guys did all the work, so thank you. This was like the easiest walkabout I think I've ever been involved in, and you guys just killed it. It was so epic, and everybody's mentioning Duchess and her enrichment, but what I loved about that was and you guys have already said this, but all of the creativity that went into that and all of the love that went into making all of the things that were handed out today, and then seeing the cats have so much fun with it. And then I'm seeing so many people in ClubHouse right now that have the little celebration thing that says that they're new, and so I'm betting that these are people who came from Walkabout. So if anybody knows anybody down here, be sure you give them a follow, and that way that'll get them a little bit further up on the screen so that we can be sure and bring them into the room to talk. And I just can't thank you guys enough. You are all so amazing. Thank you.
And I will mention, while there's this many people in the room, we have 85 people in the room. I want to mention that if anyone has any suggestions or thoughts about what they would like to see next year, if you click on my little pink flower, my contact information is there, and you can get a hold of me and let me know your ideas, and I will make sure I make note of those so that next year, whether we're in person or virtual, that we do our best to incorporate the things that people maybe want to see that haven't seen in the past, or maybe you have something you really like this year you'd like to see us do again. And so I'm happy to be that contact point, at least at this point, for everyone, so you can get a hold of me and let me know what you liked or would like to see in the future. Erin, what about you? What was your favorite part of the day besides herding cats?
The same things that like Brittany and Lauren said. We were a 4, sometimes 5 when Carol had to show up person, well-oiled machine. The day was flawless, and that is thanks to Lauren and all of her fantastic videos, especially the painting with cats one, because the music is my absolute favorite. And then Brittany with just all of her prep work and getting us all on the same page and working on the schedule. And then Deb, we can't do anything that we do without you. You are fantastic, and thank you, all of you, so much. And then everybody who's listening and watched today, thank you guys. And then obviously Duchess rabbit kicking her enrichment was also a highlight of the day for me, I gotta say.
I want to know who it is that I hear purring.
That's my cat. He's very loud. His name is Thomas O'Malley, and he's like sitting right by my face right now, just purring.
That cat could do voiceovers.
That is a really loud purr.
Sorry, I tried to hold my phone like far away from his face, but I guess it did not work. Well, everyone says hi, Tom.
MJ, I see you up here on the stage, and I'm so happy you're here. what was your favorite part of the day? You were there all day too.
Yes, Deb, I was. First and foremost, as one of the keepers who got to enjoy lunch, thank you very much. We totally enjoyed it. I just enjoyed being there all day, doing what I do every time I'm out there, and that's taking care of the cats and watching them enjoy anything and everything that we give them. Duchess was awesome. I can't wait to watch the whole video because I only saw pieces of it, but I can't wait to watch it. And to Erin and Lauren and Brittany, you guys, it was great. Everything just seemed to work awesome.
You know, ever since I started following the cat rescue, which was in 2016, I think the thing that really has amazed me most, and I've seen it more actually this week just because I've been here, but I mean, you see it on videos too, is all of the teamwork that goes into all of the care. I mean, and it's not just on days like today, it's every day. And I just think that is so amazing because having worked for 40 plus years with a lot, and Mark, I know you're listening with Brittany, but there are obviously more women that are volunteering and working together. And to be someone that has worked with a lot of women in the past, it takes a lot of special people to be able to work with a lot of other women together and get along. And I think that just speaks so highly of everybody there, that everyone works together and they are working together for the good of the cats and they get along. And I just think that is, says so much about everybody that's there. And so, I would just want to thank all you guys for all that you do every day. Yes, I work, behind the scenes on a computer, but that to me is nothing compared to what you do, out there with the cats every day, because you're the true heroes in taking care of them. So thank you guys for that. Karen, before we move on to those up on the stage, did you have anything you'd like to add?
I just wanted to say it was a wonderful day because I'm in charge of cleaning the lives. It was one after the other, but they were so nice and positive, and there were a couple people that needed to have a little education, but for the most part, it was beautiful. It went smoothly. Everybody did a great job. I think the highlight, I'm going to just coattail on everyone else, that Duchess was just unbelievable. She's so cute. But yeah, it was a really nice day. Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Well, I have to tell you something you guys didn't see today was before anybody went live. So this is at like 7:30 this morning. I got to see my girl, which is Priya, prancing around up there in the front, mooing, carrying on. MJ was the only one that was around, I think. And she was so starving, as you can imagine Priya being, for breakfast. And so for me, that was probably the highlight of my day, that I started right off with that. Plus, the ibis tree was full of ibis this morning as I went by. So that was really awesome, too. So, but it's just been a great day all the way around for me. Daniel, I see you as the next person in line in my screen. Did you have a question or a comment for any of the keepers or anyone just about the day?
Sure, yeah. Well, personally, I wanted to thank every single person who made today possible. I mean, I had this on my calendar. Basically, no one bothered me this day. I'm Big Cat Rescue this day. But I would say, probably one of my highlights was all the pumpkin heads that we had today. Seeing Cyrus with his whole head and almost his shoulders deep in that pumpkin was hilarious. And then when Jinx decided he would try it too, it's just like, okay. My question would be, of everything you guys had to do today, between all the lives, what was the hardest and why?
So I think this is probably an easy one for me. internet connection was the worst for me today.
Yes.
So a huge thank you to everybody for putting up with that. I think I told Brittany about 25 times today how much I do not envy her job of doing lives every day, because they are extremely stressful. But I think the hardest one to track was probably Duchess. Just tearing around her enclosure, trying to keep up with that. But yeah, that would be, Deb, for next year. My one recommendation or request is for better Wi-Fi.
I agree, Lauren. That was difficult today, and it was really difficult to get better. Once Carol got there and helped me get situated in a better spot that got better connectivity. But yeah, that was probably one of the harder things today to deal with. And I know you were struggling when you were on YouTube, especially, so that had to be stressful. Key, did you have a question or comment?
Hi, everybody. I thoroughly enjoyed today because, for all of us, it's about the cats. That's why I post every day like I do for the cats. But today was special because it is let us see about the keepers. And it's such a human part of it that it was just warms my heart. I mean, these keepers are the best kind of people. And they take care of these beautiful cats. And I think next year would be great to see more interviews with these keepers, because it's important that people see what people do for these cats. So I applaud all the keepers, all the volunteers, and Carol, you run a great sanctuary with Jamie and Howard, Dr. J. I thoroughly get so much information. So thank you very much. I had a great time.
I agree. Those keeper interviews were epic. I loved them. Those were really well done.
Those were well done, and it may be that some volunteers chose not to do that just because they didn't want to be in front of a camera, but maybe next year they'll see that, oh, everybody liked it so much, maybe I will. So hopefully next year we can get more.
I was just going to add to that. This is Karen. It's really nice because of how many times I've been there. I've met so many keepers, but now in the last year and a half, we don't get to see them face to face, even in passing. When you're on a tour, you get to see them. So that was really a nice part of it, to be able to see them, and they're interacting with us. So that was excellent.
So we did, for the keeper videos, we did put out like a request of who wanted and who didn't want to do them. We tried to fulfill as many as possible, but as Deb said, there are some keepers that are just not comfortable in front of a camera, or just didn't feel like it was their kind of thing. But maybe something we could do next year is just the audio part. Instead of having them have to stand in front of the camera, just get their audio and lay it over cat footage. But that was something that we really wanted to do this year, because I think everybody knows, Brittany and Erin, Carol, myself, Jamie, but we couldn't do our jobs without all of those people behind us and all of our keepers and supporters. So yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that, and thank you to Brittany, for helping me film all of those and schedule all of those people, because they all come on different days at different times. So I'm glad that was something that worked out and that you enjoyed.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. Forward head, and that's really cool if people would like cat on me that in all the years past for Walkabout, the in-person walkabouts, you had a volunteer like every 20 feet that you could walk by, talk to them, interact with them. And because we aren't doing an in-person one, it was nice to shed light on the volunteers and like Lauren said, some people just don't feel comfortable with it, which I totally understand. You guys know me, I'm behind the camera, not in front of the camera. So I'm hoping that maybe by next year, if we're not back to in person, that we can at least get more people involved, or at least start filming more of their stories with just awesome cat footage instead. So thank you to Erin for bringing that to our attention, passed along from Susan. So that was really nice.
Mary, did you have a question or a comment?
Well, this was my first walkabout of any kind, and I thoroughly enjoyed being part of it. My favorite thing was watching Kimba today. He loved getting that turkey and strutting his stuff with it. That was hysterical. Just love that boy. And I can't say enough about how beautifully this was put together and the thought that went into it, and all the little videos that you did explaining things. I really enjoyed Jamie's video talking about her Bobcat rehab program. I got so much information from that. Thank you very much, and thank you for all your hard work.
Well, thank you, Mary. I know that, just from being there, I know how hard these ladies worked to pull today off. So they certainly deserve a standing ovation if they could see us giving them that. Paula, how about you?
100%.
Paula, how about you? Do you have a question or comment?
Well, I know that you. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
yes.
Because I sound funny to myself. I know you know that I had a family thing come up today. I had planned to spend the whole day in front of the computer watching this walkabout, and I had to go out of town. So I got back earlier than I thought, and I started to look at some of the ones I missed and caught some of the newer ones, and it was just so good. I loved every second of it. And, I loved Kimba prancing around with this turkey, and then Carol did a TikTok. What I really liked about it was all the different platforms. So I watched some short ones on TikTok, and I saw Carol, while Kimba was prancing around, Carol was showing Jasmine obsessed with Area across the way. And then I would go back and catch a Facebook Live, then I'd go and see an Instagram Live. It was such a great day. You guys did such a great job. My only wish is that I had been able to be there in person, but seeing it this way was just as good. So thank you.
I do like how it was across all the platforms, because I know that there are some people who aren't comfortable being on some of the platforms, and so for it to be spread out like that, I think that at least helped draw in more people that were able to see the cats and learn more about the sanctuary. Kat, how about you? Question or comment?
Yeah, hi everyone. Congratulations on such a successful event. I'm sure that you all are exhausted but exhilarated. So definitely loved seeing all the pumpkins. You've got some talented painters and carvers there. I'd love to know, this was your second kind of virtual. How do you feel this kind of evolved from last year, and where do you see it going in the future?
I was not really a part of last year's, but so this would be more of something that probably Brittany or Lauren could talk about. But I just feel like, compared to even some in-person ones that I've done, because I've done most of them, this was awesome and went just completely flawless, and I don't know how it could be topped, even though everyone wants to come in person, and I get that. I just feel like this was awesome because we could reach a lot of different people, and then everything that we've done is now on Facebook or on YouTube or on whatever platform for everyone to continue to watch, and I feel like that's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Last year was the first time we ever attempted a virtual walkabout, and we did a great tried to follow the same formula. We were just trying to come up with new content, like show different cats, do sort of the same enrichment, shit up a little direction than last year. Try to formula. Like this, it was flawless. It worked really, really well. I think we're just gonna have the same issue next year. We're gonna, if we can't do in person, it's gonna be following somewhat of. Deb and I actually put it out there to ask people what they liked about last year and what they might like to see this year. So you guys might remember if you go back and watch. A lot of people wanted to talk about painting with the cats and podcastings and the rehab program, and that's year. So I think we're probably gonna put it out there for our supporter base and base it off of that for any upcoming events. Same thing with eBay. You guys have really taken the eBay and just blown it away and helped the cats in tremendous ways, and also got some really cool items out of that. And so same thing this year. Victor had to get creative and come up with a new shadow box, and we decided, okay, let's make something live and then auction it. So it was just a lot of brainstorming, but a lot of this came from you guys, so there's a good chance that's how it'll be again next year, depending on how things are.
I love it. Thank you. As someone who is not in the area, that the kind of virtual component will carry on regardless of the COVID situation. So thank you.
That might be Randall. That was Randall. Okay.
Randall, I put you back in the audience, but go ahead and I'll invite you back up here. Just you need to mute your microphone. I didn't know how to mute it.
I couldn't even figure out who it was. Oh my. Okay. MJ, did you have anything else before I pass you up? Did you have anything else you wanted to comment about or anything?
I haven't watched all the lives, but the way we reached out to people using all the different platforms, I know a lot of people that are in my inner circle don't always watch Facebook, don't always watch TikTok, don't always watch YouTube. So to be able to put it out on the platforms that my friends follow is putting that word out there, and I get a lot of questions from my friends, and that puts us out there in their face, in their head, in their minds, and people are learning about us, and that's evident by the support that we're seeing and the support we're seeing in Congress, because the only way we're going to get those people to listen to us is our supporters making those calls, and we're making it happen. And Howie talked about that today too. So I think it's great. I think we should continue to do it, whether we're in person or not.
I was actually thinking about that as I was driving this evening, and the fact that I'm sure, even though there were, between 600 and 700 people at the last live event, I'm sure we reached many, many, many more than that. And by the time these lives are rewatched again, and all of the recorded videos, I'm sure it'll probably be, maybe close to 10 times or more that. So I do think that, although COVID has had a huge downside to it, there have been some good things that have come of it, and I think this is one, because who would have ever thought 2 years ago that this would have turned virtual and that we would have reached as many people as we have. So I do think that there is some good that has come of it, and just like today. So I agree with you, Mary. Joyce, did you have a question or a comment?
Yes, I always do. But one of the things I wanted to say was that when I first got interested in Big Cat Rescue and I watched things, I never believed that the people got along as well as they seemed to on screen. Having been there and worked with the people, I am amazed. There's not one person there who's a grumpy person. Everybody helps everybody else out. So that came through so much today. You could see how everybody just got along, and you could see it was about the cats. Okay, so you don't really want to color this picture. That's okay. We'll still give you you still get your chicken leg. So I think it was just nice to see that came across so much. The other thing that two other things I just wanted to say quickly, and that is that right now I'm still doing, I probably, everybody who's on the firewall is doing this as I am, but we're still looking at the posts, and these posts have at least doubled in terms of who's looking at them. So I think you're right, Deb. There are going to be a lot more comments on these posts and a lot more people involved. And then the last thing is, I would like to see interns and maybe to talk about the program or just to see what they do, because they're in a little bit of a different, they're in a very different program, I think, than the volunteers. And I think it would be fun to have something about them on the next one. And thank you very much, you guys. It was a great day.
Joyce, this is Karen. I'm just going through right now, and there's so many more comments coming in right now. So you're absolutely right. As I'm sitting here, I'm deleting a couple and answering a couple and so on. But you're absolutely right. These lives, people add for weeks. So we are reaching so many.
Yeah, especially right now, they're very active right now because they just were all day, and that seems to be the case. I think, Karen, that after the lives post on YouTube or wherever, they become so much more active, and you at least triple the comments, I think.
Yeah, actually, teams, various teams, we call the Chuffs and Roars outreach team, and different ones work, and we're talking like hundreds of people. They work different shifts, and their shift may be 30 minutes, their shift may be 2 or 3 hours, they may be on, off, and on all day. Some of them don't even come on till like 10 or 11 at night, and they are taking the direct links for those posts and posting them in literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of groups and other social platforms. So while these videos may have already been seen by all of us today, throughout this evening and tonight and tomorrow, they will be fresh and new for tons more audience, because our people who help us get this out there work at different shifts. And so this will just go on and on. I've got several teams just now coming on duty, so those of you on Firewall, expect a spike within the next hour.
Luana, just tell everybody who you are.
Oh, my name is. I've been working with Big Cat Rescue's online department for, I don't know, 17 years maybe. Just doing different projects for outreach. One project started was like Firewall, which now Karen runs, and Deb is the admin over that. We have, the Big Cat Rescue groups, the official groups, which CJ and Alyssa and Deb kind of oversee. There's a whole host of moderators that work on those. The Firewall team that Karen runs is a bunch of our volunteers that have become so ingrained and so key in our online outreach that they now help moderate the online on Facebook to answer questions and help educate and help clean up the comments from the people who choose to not be educated. Online outreach is so important. There's only so much that we can do as boots on the ground. There's only so many people we can reach as boots on the ground. Online is the key. Online, we can reach around the world. And each and every one of you who are interested in saving big cats, there's so much to learn the issues, how all the little puzzle pieces fit together And when you understand each of those little puzzle pieces and how they fit together in the bigger picture of not only stopping the abuse, but stopping the abuse is key to saving the cats in the wild. And each one of you can make a difference just by learning the issues and then talking about it with people you know and talking about it online. Help us get the message out online. We can't do it without you. Anyway, that's what I do. I direct traffic and online, get projects started, and then find wonderful people like Deb and Karen and different ones, CJ and Alyssa, and then I assign that project to them, and they then continue to grow that project. And I go find another outreach project to get started online and get people in it, and then find someone to run that project and move on to the next. I'm just an online traffic controller, basically.
You're being modest.
I was going to mention really quickly, so on our original agenda, we actually did intend to include an entire new video about our internship program. We did run out of time and kind of scrapped it for later, so hopefully something soon will be coming in that area. But we do have 3 different level 5s right now. None of them really wanted to be on camera, so we're kind of working on some like voiceover things, but that is something we really wanted to include. And the only other reason you didn't see a lot of interns today is most of them have Saturday off. But generally, we are trying to include them in other ways. So just a heads up for the future on that.
Yes, thank you. I have been like, hey, I need to talk about, none of them wanted to be on camera, and none of them wanted to even really do voiceover. They were all very nervous. So we love them. We did not try to exclude them.
Can I make a suggestion? Why don't you try and do an interview with them instead of having them just stand and talk about themselves? I find it very difficult. It might be easier for them to be interviewed and have questions asked.
They did not like any of the things even remotely close to being filmed or talked about or anything. We asked one who is a level 5 why they wanted to be here, and their response was, and I was like, I know that you love to be here. And he was like, I do, I just panicked. I don't know. I didn't know what to say. So, maybe if I kind of try to take some more candid footage of them, that could be more helpful. But on the spot, they were all very nervous about talking. And they're all very young, so that makes total sense.
Can I switch the subject back to online for just one thing? Mary Jerome, you or MJ, you mentioned other platforms. If you'll get a hold of me after and let me know if it's a platform that we're not on yet, let me know, because we will get Big Cat Rescue on platforms. We're working on some different smaller platforms now and having a good response. So if we're missing the platforms that you're on, by all means, let Deborah I know, and we will get Big Cat Rescue on those platforms too.
Not a problem. I will let you guys know.
I just want to take a second before we go any further, and I forget again, is to thank Karen and all the Firewall team for today, because they took such a load off of my shoulders to know that I didn't have to worry what was going on and who was being educated and taken care of on the main page. Karen had it handled. So thank you so much, Karen, for managing that today. I know it's been a really long day for you, so thank you so much.
You're welcome. You know I'll be up till 2 a.m. doing it. I love
I love you, Will.
I love it. And thank you. You're the best ever.
2 a.m., Karen, are you kidding? If it goes like normal, you and I'll still be up at daylight.
I know I tend to do this until the wee hours, but I really don't mind. I love it. And anything for the big cats. And Carol. And Howie.
I love you guys.
Dawn, did you have a question or a comment?
Hi, everybody. Okay, I guess as a Big Cat Rescue supporter slash love everything about you all, I loved everything about today. Everything was just smooth. Every time I went to Facebook, like the next thing was on. Just fantastic. I am so proud to be part of this group because we're here for the cats, and that's what I'm proud of. And I'm happy to say that I will be beside you all 110%. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dawn. Cassie, what about you? Do you have a question or a comment?
Hi, guys. I think anybody that's chatted with me before will kind of predict this one, but highlight of the day was obviously Manny for me, even though he ran right in his den. Thanks, guys, for sticking with him and, showing him a little bit while he was chomping away. That was cute. I think one of the things that impressed me most about today, along with what everyone else has said, is just the variety of things that went on, right? So it wasn't just a feeding tour. It wasn't just enrichment. There was education. There was a variety of species shown. I could tell in the comments we had a lot of new folks. And so, seeing a caracal, that might have been their first time seeing a caracal, We didn't click with just the tigers and just the bobcats, as cute as they all are. I think, if we continue a virtual component, whether it is only virtual or whether it's a component of, behind the scenes things are pretty interesting. So the podcastings, the paintings, if there's projects that you guys do at the sanctuary. I know it's always interesting to see food prep. I know it sounds silly for those of you that probably prep the food, but little things like that just kind of teach people a little bit more about what goes into making the magic happen. I think those are really valuable tidbits for us. So thank you to everybody. It was a great day.
I agree, Cassie. Those behind the scenes things are very interesting, I think, for everyone.
Definitely. I wanted to throw in there, I think Cassie would appreciate this little tip from Angie. So Angie was the coordinator for the day, and she said she went out and checked in Manny's den later in the day, and there was still a little bit of turkey in there. So it took her a while to configure a way to scoop it out the front, and she gathered it and put it back in his feeding lockout and then opened him back up to that section, and he came a-running and ate all the rest of it, but he also then drug a portion of it back into his den. So I thought you would appreciate that he did end up in the den twice.
That's fantastic. He was probably excited, although he knew it was in the den. He was excited to get fed all over again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Brittany, thank you for that. One of the things that our online people just beg for is more of those little personalized tidbits about each cat. So, Brittany, thank you very much for following that up.
Liz, did you have a question or a comment?
My biggest question has already been answered. I wondered about everybody's favorite part of the day, and I thoroughly enjoyed being a part of it. I comment often about how I feel like we're all a great big team for the cats. It takes each one of us to get this done, to care for the cats, to care for each other. And it's wonderful to be part of that. And so thank you for today, and thank you for every piece of work along the way, and for all that's going to be coming down the road. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the future. I'm very curious about where the sanctuary is going to go, and my biggest hope right now is for the lake to be well. So thank you very much for everything.
Carol, do you have any update on the fish that you can share, that you know any more about?
They had said that it was going to be the end of October or November for them to bring the fish in from, I think it's Arkansas. And the thing is that they have to transport them from way over there. And it's been too hot, and so they don't want the fish to boil on the way here and die. And so today it's been our first cold day. And so I'm guessing it's going to be sometime this month. But I actually had that on my mind, and I'm going to email that guy right now.
Carol, while we're on that subject, I've had a couple people ask how the fundraising for the expenses in rejuvenating the lake have come along. Do we need more people to do Facebook fundraisers for that, or are we covered on that yet?
I don't know, and I don't think Katie is here. She usually takes care of all of the fundraising pages. I know that the fish are like $15 each, and we need 100 of them now and 100 of them in a couple of months. And then there's like many thousands of dollars worth of work that they have to do to the lake in addition to the fish.
Lonnie, did you have a question or a comment?
Oh, I just wanted to say I really enjoyed the whole day today. It was great. And even last year, I enjoyed it. It was so much fun. Everything would just seem so smooth. And I really appreciate all the work that goes into getting this all together and making it happen. And of course, I appreciate everybody that works there, on the property and with the cats directly. And Duchess really kind of stole the show for me with her enrichment. That was crazy. And I have a suggestion about the painting, doing the paintings. Try like putting some chicken broth in a spray bottle and spraying the board with chicken broth, since they're so, they just seem to be, they go crazy over the chicken, so maybe that scent will attract them to the board, and either they'll rub their nose in it or lick it, or, do something with the board and not be so distracted by the piece of chicken and the tongs, It's just an idea. It's just a suggestion. But it was a great day, and I really appreciate everything that everyone does, and everyone that put all the work into making this happen. And I look forward to one day, coming to the property in person. That would be great. I'd love that.
Thank you. Sorry, Deb. So with the painting, the idea, that is a fantastic idea, except for the fact that we are always super weary that the cats will try to grab it with their teeth. So if you guys watch, if you watch the video that Lauren made, Flint thought that the canvas would be a nice afternoon snack for him and tries to grab it, and then we're trying to avoid that. Yeah. So that's the only worry that I have with the spraying of the chicken broth. But we did make that joke earlier today, so it does make sense.
Yeah.
I also don't know how well it would weather over time.
Well, you'd have to spray it as soon as right before you're going to give it to them. Spray it on top of the paint. Just spray it and then put it up to the fence. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, it's a great suggestion. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Nancy. Did you have a question or a comment?
Yes. Hi, and thanks to everyone. I really enjoyed the day. I was out and about doing things, but I was able to listen in my car and pretty much kept up with everything. I agree with Kat. I'm very thankful for the virtual aspect of it, and I hope that if you begin to do it do it live again on the statutory property, I hope that can continue to be an aspect of it. But I really enjoyed Manny with his turkey, and Jinx and Kimba. Those are my boys. And Duchess, of course, she was wonderful. And Cyrus was just so cute and hilarious. And I love that you had a schedule, but you were sensitive to Kimba and said, no problem, we'll just switch it around. He's getting a little bit anxious for his breakfast. And it just went on from there, just very smoothly. And you were just sensitive to his needs, and I do appreciate that. Thank you all for all that you do. It just adds so much joy to our life to see them cared for, to see them loved, and to see you fighting for them, and for us to be able to take part of that in some small way. But thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Marcy, what about you? Did you have a question or a comment?
Well, thank you to Carol for actually inviting me up on stage. That was kind of an honor. Really, I just want to thank you all for all that you do. Deb, you have helped me with so many questions, especially in recent months. Karen, I borrow her strength every time, even right now, to try not to become a bawling mess. Brittany, it's an honor to get to spend time with you 5 days a week, almost on average, with the various tours. My favorite part today, as much as I love Aria, it's very clear that I love her. Kimba, it was seeing that respect to Kimba and giving him his distance and the time he needed to feel comfortable. I would also say, if you haven't listened in and heard maybe the last 5 minutes of time with Bridget when she had time by herself and was just talking about how honored she was to work with all of you and just the amazing work you all do, just touched my heart. And otherwise, my favorite part, I'm sure, is going to be the Zooms with Brittany and Afton and Jamie coming up in the next 3 days. So just thank you all.
You're welcome, Marcy.
As far as the Zooms go, I don't know how many of you heard Brittany mention this on her last live that she did, but there has been a little bit of a glitch with the Salsa page in that they're not getting the times. They know who has signed up, but Salsa didn't bother to put through the times or the days that you've signed up for. So Katie's having to actually manually, I think, go into Salsa. I think that's what Brittany said. To try to figure that out. No, that's not right. She's going to have to email everyone to find out when that was, to figure all that out. So that's been a bit of a glitch, but I think the Zooms will be just amazing for everyone that got a chance. And if you didn't get a chance to sign up, I know I got messages today that some were wanting to sign up with Brittany, but her times were full. And so she is thinking about possibly adding another one a little bit later this month. So Brittany, do you want to say any more about that? Because I know yours are coming right up tomorrow.
Yeah, that's been a bit stressful for me and Katie. We feel really came through. It shows who all purchased, but it doesn't show your another one tomorrow at 6, and then another one on Monday at 6. So I was going to get with Carol and just verify that it would be okay if I schedule some more in the future, kind of in the same way. I'll pick a date and time, and there will be maybe a salsa page that you guys can sign up for. But we are trying very hard to figure out who is when and how and why, and send you guys a link. So just bear with us. Even if something gets crazy, I'll still make sure that we do our Zoom calls. So no worries all around. I just really appreciate that you guys want to even spend that extra money just to be able to speak with us a little more one-on-one. This year we tried to divide them up a little bit more instead of having 11 or 12 people in each call for about 40 minutes. That became almost impossible for everyone to be able to talk to each other. So this year it was my fault. I was like, can we do more Zoom calls with less people? Just so we all get more opportunity to ask questions and discuss. And of course, this would be an issue that pops up. So just bear with us, and thank you for your patience on that. And we'll make sure everybody gets what they want out of those Zoom calls. So thank you.
And we did already get an email, at least I did, just asking for confirmation for the time you had signed up for. So
Perfect. Yes.
Everybody check your email. They're already reaching out to you.
Yes. Thank you.
And I'll see you tomorrow at noon, Brittany.
Yay!
And check your spam folders, because oh my goodness, so many of our emails go to spam, and we really are. I got one of those emails as well, and I'm like, I wonder who I signed up to talk to.
Well, that's really funny, Carol. Edith, how about you? Did you have a question or comment? I saw you in the lives today.
Edith, make sure your microphone is open.
Click the little button in the bottom right corner. Oh, I bet she clicked it and she got lost.
Yes. I'll PM her right now.
And maybe just bring her back up. She's right here below us, so maybe just bring her back up. I'll move on, though, for now. Diana, did you have a question or comment?
Yeah, I think most of what I was has been answered. It's been an amazing day. Favourite part? I'm sorry?
No, that was it. Back up. Okay.
No, Manny, Kimber, the whole event has been absolutely amazing. Thank you to everybody involved. I just wondered, it's coming up to, is it 2 years since the Guatemala boys arrived? Is there anything planned to celebrate that day? Perhaps?
Brittany usually does rescue-versaries for the cats, and so she'll do some kind of a special live with them frequently. I don't know if she's already done one with them or not.
No, I haven't done anything with them yet, but yes, we will most likely try to do something, either each of them individually, whether it's just hanging out with them on a morning live, watching them have breakfast, giving them a sickle, something along those lines, but nothing official yet, because I know we're gearing up for Giving Tuesday, so we're kind of still in the planning stages for that as well. So it's definitely in my mind. I feel like our fall rescue anniversaries are our California kids and Aria and our Guatemala boys. So we kind of honestly have just been focused on getting through Walkabout, and then we'll focus again on the next set of things, which will definitely be our end of year anniversaries and Giving Tuesday, which is November 30th. So it's all kind of together. So we fly by the seat of our pants almost every day. Everything's cat time. So but they are for sure top priority in my mind.
Brittany mentioned, you guys mentioned, sorry to butt in real quick, but Giving Tuesday coming up, all of you amazing heroes that jumped in today and helped online, we'll need you again on Giving Tuesday. We'll need your expertise answering questions. So while that was brought up, I just wanted to kick in there, put that up, put Giving Tuesday on your calendar, and let us know if we can count on you to be there to help us answer questions in the lives and help us share the message out to all the platforms and all the groups on all the platforms, because we could sure use your.
Bree, thank you for joining us tonight for the first time. And I know you were there today because I saw you early this morning. How was your day?
It was a great day, and I'm glad I finally got to meet you face to face. And also, thank you for the delicious snacks you brought in for lunch. I appreciate that. We all did. But my day, it was great. It was a good day. The nice cool air. The cats were very active this morning. I know I worked with MJ in cleaning, and I know MJ got sprayed a couple times by Mary Ann, or attempted to be sprayed anyway. So, but overall, it was a great day, and I enjoyed my time there. And also, I want to just thank you guys for the positive comments on the volunteer interviews. I'm not going to lie, mine was pretty awkward, but I did enjoy doing it. Thank you guys.
Well, thank you, Bree, and we appreciate you, even though it was out of your comfort zone, taking time to do that, because I think people do really like to learn more about the keepers. So thank you for that. Susan, another keeper.
Hi, and
Hi.
So glad I finally got to meet Deb this week as well, even though briefly. Yes, it was my suggestion, and I did not do a keeper story, and I'm regretting it so much. I'm going to blame Sweet Shy Lovey and say that we discussed it, and she did not want to be on camera, but I promise she and I will work on it for next time.
Yes, you should.
I know, I'm sorry. I'd just like to say to all of our friends here, I'll be a bit presumptuous and speak for the staff and volunteers, and just reiterate that we appreciate all your love and support in every form. I hope it's evident how much we feel your passion, because we're also super fans of these cats, and we love sharing their stories, videos, pictures with everybody on the Facebook supporter page. Thank you for being with us virtually every day, not just today. We very much feel your presence.
Speaking from online management again, I tell you what, those keeper moments, keeper stories, little tidbits that keepers give to the online community about these cats, I cannot even begin to tell you how much our online viewers beg for those kind of things and just absolutely love them. It is the best way to connect our viewers with our cats, which connects them with our mission. So each one of you keepers who take the time to share those tidbits with us folks online to help the world know our cats better, our mission better.
Yeah, and if I can just say that, Bree, you did fine. You were fine. And I noticed a little nervousness, but, you weren't any worse than anybody else. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Bree,
just relax. You're fine. Just relax and be yourself.
Thank you.
Bree, that you're not talking to a world of strangers. You are talking to people who we all view you guys, you keepers, as our heroes. You guys are doing something that is so amazing. So don't be nervous. You are being viewed by people who adore you and who truly, truly appreciate what you do. So don't be nervous. You're among friends. Just a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't think about numbers.
Leilani, did you have a question or a comment?
Yes, hi. I kind of joined the walkabout a little bit late today, but I missed Manny. I have to go back and watch him because I absolutely love him. But I saw Kimba with his turkey, and that was actually great. And I loved Duchess's reaction to her enrichment. So a couple of the questions were answered already. So related to Brittany having additional Zoom, so I can't wait to hear about that. And how about Jamie? I guess my question is, do you think Jamie will have additional Zooms in Afton? And then my second question is related to Nikita. So you guys all know I love Nikita. Nikita and Manny and Jinx are my three favorites. So is there any update on Nikita's Explore Cam? Because we really miss seeing her on the Explore Cams.
Randall, you want to take that?
I was going to say, our IT guy happens to be in the house. Randall?
There we go. Couldn't get the microphone for some reason. I'm happy that people have been so patient. It's been those things where every time I'm thinking I can get to Nikita, which is going to take probably a full day to do, we always have some other little thing that's taking precedence. But we do have a camera. In fact, I tested it this last Thursday, and the camera looks good, but I have to rewire where Nikita's camera goes for the Explore Cam. And So I'm hoping week here.
Sounds great, thank you. And then a follow-up question related to Manny's first Verkada Cam. So his first Verkada Cam, I love that it's back online, but there's no volume. Is there any way to program volume so we could hear the water and see him go back and forth like we do with the second webcam? The second webcam, we can hear and see everything, but I'd love to hear him on the first one too.
I do apologize. I guess I didn't realize that the microphone was off. In fact, I thought I even heard it when I got home and reviewed it again. But I will make sure to take a look and see if we can make sure that gets back on.
Thank you. It's the one that directly faces the new pool. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. While they were doing construction, I turned it off because nobody needed to see all the construction going on. And so we finally got it back up, and then we had some technical issues, and we couldn't do it when he first got into the pool, but now that it's up, I see him going towards the pool quite a bit, so it is kind of exciting.
Great, thank you.
Luana, did you have anything else that you wanted to mention before I move on to Gail?
I just wanted to take a moment and thank everybody that put all of this stuff together. Sorry, dogs. I want to thank everybody who put all of this together today. Thank everybody who were team leaders today, everybody who helped educate, and everybody who's going to help us over the next several days follow up, educating on the new contacts that we made today. Please pick him up so he'll be quiet. Sorry, I'll be back later.
Gail, I want to thank you for helping me out today and going to pick up lunch when I couldn't get out from behind the computer, so thank you for that.
No problem. It was my pleasure.
Did you have any other comments about today?
I don't. I was kind of busy with some workers at my house, so I was occupied most of the day.
Gail's getting a new roof, and so they were banging on her house all day long.
Yeah, my cats were a little, needless to say, I only saw one cat all day long, all hiding.
I bet they're glad that they're gone now.
Yes, it's a couple of times I just had to go outside and walk around in the yard. It was so, I was glad that, I said all the years since we've been doing these walkabouts, I got up this morning and I went, finally, a cool day to have a walkabout. Every time we have walkabouts, it's always so awfully hot. Not today. Today was quite cool.
Yes, today was very cool, I have to say.
Oh. Randall, what I did see of the videos that were coming through Facebook, because I did try to keep, flipping through Facebook, it looked like everyone really enjoyed their treats and stuff.
It was a good day watching the cats, and I think because it was cooler, they may have been a little bit more frisky.
Yes. Yeah, they're always a little more active when it's cool.
Randall, did you have any other questions or comments?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch a lot today. We had a Thanksgiving day over at the house, so we had some 30 people at our house. So it's been a little bit on the busy side, but from what I did get to see and hear about, it looked like it was absolutely terrific. The cool weather, I think, really made the cats that much more into it, and it was great to hear. I appreciate everybody with watching those cameras, because it's one of those things that I'm very proud of, and that it's so accepted and so appreciated themselves. But I'm sure at this moment I don't have any. Thanks.
We love that you keep these cameras up and running to the best of your ability with all of the struggles that you have to deal with. Lightning strikes and internet shortages and cameras breaking. You just keep it all running with duct tape and WD-40, I think.
I think we should open our microphones on the count of 3 and shout out, "Thank you, Randall."
Thank you, Randall.
You're appreciated. When we're on cameras, can I ask a question, Carol? I know that as many cameras as we have running at the sanctuary, we use a ton of bandwidth. And people ask at different times, do we ever need to fundraise to cover the expense of that bandwidth?
Actually, Gail would have a better idea of what our finances are when it comes to the internet. I know she did something, well, in fact, when we did the Verkada cameras, and Gail, you can jump in here, when we did the Verkada cameras, part of their pitch to us was that they could save us enough money on our internet costs that we could buy all of those 40 some odd cameras and do the hookups and everything and have less money invested in all of that than what we were paying on a regular basis. And then Gail, you can take it from there.
Well, basically what we did is we just redid a lot of the packages that we had. Like, I didn't even watch TV, so we just reduced our costs. And so, like, a lot of our stuff is now internet based only. We don't have cable TV and all those packages we had before. And because we have so many accounts, we were able to strike a deal for better pricing. So that, and we redid all of our cellular phones too, because we use so many of those for the camera stuff and videos. So we were able to redo some of our cell phone accounts too. So between doing all those, we saved enough money a month to be able to cover the cost of the cameras.
And if I might interject, I also wanted to say that some of the equipment that we have in place actually monitor what we're using, and we are trying to spread it out between different areas within the sanctuary, so it's not always going up the same spot, so that we don't have a lag as far as bandwidth.
All that stuff going on I didn't even know about.
Can I ask a question of Randall, please?
Of course, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Randall, I don't know if you're aware of the night vision problem with the rehab and Tiger Lake cams. Is there any prognosis on fixing that, perhaps?
Actually, I've been having to reconstruct new infrared cameras, and it's taking me, of course, a little bit more to get through it. But okay. So those infrared lights I've got to construct from parts, and I've got one pretty much together to see about the rehab, and then Tiger Lake will be the next portion of it. And we should have those back up, but don't have a real time frame for it quite yet.
That's superb. Thank you. We really, really appreciate everything you do. Those cameras are absolutely spectacular and amazing to watch. Thank you.
Yes, for those of us that are up after dark, it sure is nice to be able to watch those cats at night, for sure. Edith, let's try this one more time.
Yeah, sorry about that. Technology is not my strong point. Besides not being there in person, I thought today went beautifully. I loved the pre-made videos because we didn't have to deal with the distraction of connections and internet, and we got to hear about the subject. I loved Howie's presentation, and Brittany's lives were absolutely wonderful, as was Lauren's. And I think one of my favorite points was Jinx's expression as he watched Manny get all those treats. You could almost see his brain going, what about me? But thank you guys for everything that you do. I had an absolutely wonderful time, and I was even more thrilled because I work every other weekend, and this was my weekend off. So I was thrilled. Thanks again, everyone.
Well, thank you, Edith, and thanks for joining us today. I did see you on some of the lives. Carol, did you have anything before we finish up and talk about next week?
I'm sorry, I just noticed there's like a ton of people back channeling me, and I didn't realize it was back there. No, I just want to thank everybody who is here, and I would ask that everybody that sees somebody in the audience, like them, follow them, ring that little bell, which means anytime that they are on Clubhouse, you'll get a notification, because this was the best part, I think, about all of our walkabouts is the friendships that we made at Walkabout. And here on Clubhouse is how we are trying to foster those friendships so that we all get to talk to each other in person. And, well, kind of in person, in virtual person. And so finding all of your friends here is the way that we can keep that kind of community going even when we can't be together. So I hope that you will follow everybody that you see here, not only on stage, but in the room, and make some really good new cat friends. And join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. here in Clubhouse. We have the Big Cats room. And did you want to talk, Deb, about who our great guest is going to be next week?
Yes. So before I do that, if you were late joining, I mentioned this at the top of the 6 o'clock hour, was that if you have something that you particularly liked and you'd like to see again next year done in the Walkabout, or if there's something that has not been done that you would like to see done during a Walkabout, if you click on my little pink flower, you'll see my contact information there, and you're welcome to get a hold of me, and I will hang on to that information. And next year, when we get ready to work on the Walkabout for 2022, I will pull out my little list, and we will see what we can do about adding in your suggestions. So feel free to do. Next week is November the 13th, and our guest is Tim Harrison, who is part of the Conservation Game movie, and he will be our guest. Carol, did you have anything you want to say about him? I mean, obviously you know him a lot better than any of us.
We met Tim Harrison and Mike Weber, the producer of the Conservation Game film, many years ago, because I had heard about a cougar that was running loose in Dayton, Ohio. And usually when something like that happens, the big cat ends up being killed. And they called in this guy, Tim Harrison, and he went in there with a dog catcher's snare pole and took that cat out alive. And so the cat ended up not being killed that day. And I said, you know what, that guy should be our guardian angel hero of the year. And so we gave him that award at our fur ball, which was what we used to have every year as a big fundraiser gala for everybody to come. And then it became the Walkabout at the sanctuary. So I've known him forever. He works as a paramedic firefighter. He does teaching and training of other people in the first responder arena. But his main thrust and his main love is protecting these big cats. So he's been helpful with our federal bill. He was the star of the Conservation Game, which as soon as that comes out, you guys are going to love it. And I think you'll love all of the stories he has to tell. He could spin stories for hours about all of the crazy situations involving big cats where he's been called in to get them out. And I'm going to let him tell those stories next Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, because he is going to really entertain you guys.
And I have one more thing I would like to mention, is that 2 days ago, November the 4th, was the 29th anniversary of the sanctuary. And in honor of Windsong and of the 29th anniversary, if you are a U.S. citizen and you have not made the call of the wild today or this week, if you would go to bigcatapps.com or text the word cats to 52886 and make the call of the wild so that we can further protect these big cats with legislation that will prevent cub petting and private possession. That would be amazing to do that in honor of the sanctuary's 29th anniversary.
What a perfect way to end. I love that. Thank you.
All right. Well, if nothing else, thank you guys so much for joining. We had a record crowd tonight in the room, which I'm just so thrilled about. So be sure and join us next week at 6 o'clock. Tim Harrison will be our guest, and we will see you guys then. Hope you have a great week. Thank you to all of the keepers and staff that were here tonight. After your day, I so appreciate you being here.
Maybe everybody open up your mic again and thank all of those keepers and volunteers today. They were amazing. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys.
All right, you guys have a great night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.